That is just wild.
I don't know where the hell I'm going.
I can hear the screams.
Lost in Wonder is a channel run by a woman with a genuine passion for the outdoors, where she documents her camping adventures in some genuinely unique locations. Her videos are well worth your time, but this particular outing was a different kind of trip. A stealth camping night at a ruin with a local reputation for being haunted and a far cry from her usual outings.
I'm actually doing this. I just got dropped off and I'm hiking at the Bruce Trail, which is a long trail here in Ontario that goes from Niagara Falls all the way to the Bruce Peninsula on Georgian Bay. And this is just a very, very small section of it. And it goes through a ruin that is believed to be haunted. And I was reading about the story of William Black.
She hiked in and reached the location without much trouble. At first glance, everything looked fine. The spot was striking, and she got the tent set up without issue. Then the light started to fade, and something shifted. A feeling crept in that she couldn't quite place, but it put her on edge immediately.
When I was setting up, a couple of times I saw lights in the woods, and one time it looked like it was coming right at me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got busted. I don't know if it's hikers or if it is the park authorities doing rounds. Either way, they didn't come here to the ruins, they just walked through the path. But you know how it is at night, the light just really goes far. It is definitely getting cold. There is a chill.
Nobody came near her, and the night carried on. She cooked dinner, took in the sounds of the forest around her, and eventually made her way into the tent to wind down for the night.
But I don't know, I have a feeling that more people may come by. It's pretty close to Halloween, and this is a pretty famous haunted ruin, so I think a lot of people will come here at night to see if they get to see the ghost of William Black.
Then this happened.
What the was that? I just heard footsteps. But this time they sounded much closer, not farther in the path. Okay, I'm gonna try to go back to sleep.
The sounds didn't settle. New ones started filtering in from further out in the distance, layering on top of what was already there. She made it through the night without any direct encounter, but those footsteps stayed with her. What had made them? Someone passing nearby, or an animal connected to whatever was moving out in the dark? She stayed inside the tent, not willing to step out and risk coming face to face with whatever was circling the area. Keeping still and staying quiet, she held out and eventually drifted off to sleep. She woke up the next morning without harm, out there alone, particularly for a woman without any means of protection. The situation carried real risk, and the fact that nothing escalated is not something to take lightly. This encounter comes from the YouTube channel Swamp Valley, created by John, where he shares outdoor adventures, camping trips, survival techniques, bushcraft skills, and gear reviews. His content often encourages viewers to explore the outdoors themselves. On October 31st, 2018, John set out on another overnight camping trip, this time heading deep into the woodland surrounding the abandoned Dungville Prison, a location long rumored to have a troubling past and alleged ghost sightings. What was meant to be a straightforward outdoor adventure soon began to take a darker turn. After arriving, John started hiking into the forest, documenting his surroundings while explaining the eerie history of the area to his viewers, unaware that the night ahead would become far more unsettling than he expected.
Well folks, I got a bit of a strange one for you today. I'm at the Dungville Detention Centre, which has had some history around it. Basically, it didn't used to be a detention centre, it used to be a prison. I think it was 2002 it changed to a detention centre. And in 1962, 2 inmates escaped, fled into the woods. There's a big woodland here, and yeah, didn't find them. Thought they'd got away. A month later, they found their remains in some water tanks that are somewhere up here. I've done a bit of research, I'm hoping to find them, and I'm going to camp in the woods there, because apparently there's been all sorts of rumours and stories about ghosts and noises and, you know, just weird goings on. So I'm going to go find out about it. I don't believe in ghosts, just to clarify. Never seen one, never felt a presence. So this will be a bit different to your other ghost hunting ones. So it'll be interesting. See how we go.
As the sun began to set, John spent time exploring the crumbling remains of the old prison grounds. He even ventured into sections of an underground structure that added to the already uneasy atmosphere. The fading daylight cast long shadows through the trees, and the silence around the abandoned buildings felt heavy and oppressive. Once darkness fully settled in, he turned his attention to finding a suitable place to spend the night. Moving through the woodland, he searched for a safe clearing where he could set up and start a fire.
Yeah, I think this will do for the night. Can you even see? I think I need new batteries. I managed to find some birch bark. So far, nothing creepy. It's just a lovely woodland. I got myself some salami, or burgwurst is what it's called. But it's basically salami, and I got a nice sirloin steak, so I'm going to cook them up. I didn't bring a grill or anything out with me. I just thought I'd just go basic, and I was planning on cooking the steak on a flat rock, but it's so dark, trying to go around and find flat rocks is pretty difficult, so I'm just going to cook them on a stick. Okay, so I've got my salami on the stick and I'm ready to cook. I actually just heard something there. Did you? I'm gonna check the recording. I need to see if I recorded that. Hold on. Right, so just check the recording, and you can hear it. I don't even know what, like, I actually recorded something, and I heard something, and it wasn't like birds, or a deer. I don't know what the hell it was. Alright, so I've heard the noise again. I've packed up my bags. I'm getting the heck out of here. I'm not messing about with this stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna get out of here. It's gonna be a bugger because I gotta climb through them woods again. But obviously not very welcome here, and I'm okay with that. I think it's time to go. That fucking noise again. I don't even know where the hell I'm going. I'm just gonna get the fuck out of here. This is so shit. This is so fucking shit.
Trusting his instincts, John decided to pack up his camp and leave the area. But as he began moving away through the forest, the sound came back once again. The same strange, animalistic tone echoed through the trees, almost as if it were following his movement. Panic began to set in, and he focused on finding his way out of the woodland as quickly as possible. With full darkness surrounding him, the situation became even more difficult. The terrain was harder to navigate, his camera battery was running low, and the isolation made every sound in the forest seem louder and more threatening. The pressure was both physical and psychological. Despite the stress, John relied on his compass and eventually managed to make his way out of the woods safely. What had begun as an attempt to show that the area wasn't haunted ended with a very different impression. The repeated, unexplained noises, combined with the isolation and the feeling that something might be nearby, turned the night into a tense and deeply unsettling experience. John left the area not only with disturbing audio evidence, but also with a lasting reminder that deep in the wilderness, the line between the natural world and the unexplained can sometimes feel frighteningly thin. Meet James, the creator behind the YouTube channel, What's Up with James. James explores abandoned and forgotten spaces, uncovering their histories and documenting the atmosphere of each location. His passion for exploration often takes him to remote and unsettling places, all captured on camera. But on the night of November 11th, 2022, what was meant to be a routine overnight stay turned into a disturbing and life-threatening encounter. During a recent exploration, James chose to spend the night at a secluded abandoned building. After filming throughout the day, he settled into the back of his truck to sleep. The area was quiet. As he drifted in and out of rest, he heard a vehicle approaching. At first, it didn't seem unusual. Then everything changed.
So a bunch of guys just pulled up and shot my truck with me in it. I was literally sleeping in the back, and they shot it up right there. Yeah, so that was pretty crazy because these guys pulled up, and you know, I don't know. I think hopefully it was just a bunch of kids or whatever, but you know, even hopefully. But so I'm in the truck, and you know, these guys pulled up, and I heard them pull up, and I was like, okay, well, you know, I'm at this building because I was staying at that abandoned place, and I'm at this building, and man, it was crazy. They just started shooting at my truck, and I'm in it. So I ducked down. I was like, oh my God. Like, I ducked down. I was like, okay, well, you know, they're shooting at the glass, whatever. And then I heard them take off, and I just got out and, you know, basically got in the front, checked it out, got in the front, and drove off because I'm not going to stay there tonight. Obviously, not after that. You know what I mean?
Without warning, gunshots shattered the silence. Multiple rounds were fired directly at his truck while he was still inside. James immediately ducked down as bullets struck the glass and metal around him. The sound of impact was unmistakable. His vehicle was being targeted. His heart raced as he stayed low, waiting for the attack to stop. Only after he heard the other vehicle speeding away did he cautiously assess the damage. His truck had been hit several times. The windows were shattered, and the interior was left damaged. The realization of how close he had come to being seriously injured was immediate.
I mean, I haven't found any rounds yet. They're small. It's a 22 probably, right, or something. But I haven't seen any rounds in here or anything. My truck's a mess. But yeah. So aside from needing a new window, I'm okay. That was scarier than any paranormal experience or anything like that I could have. That was pretty wild. You know, you're sitting in your truck and it's being shot at, like, regardless of whether it's a small caliber or not. That was a pretty scary experience. So you hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and it's falling apart. I decided to go home. I had to stop and put gas, but I decided to go home after this because I got to get this fixed because this is my daily driver. It was pretty crazy. Like, I did hear them pull up, but I was still like half asleep, right? I think I even have toothpaste in my mustache still, like, you know, because that's like 2 feet away from my head. But so I was like half asleep. They pulled up. I was like, whatever, you know what I mean? And then started shooting. I was like, oh my god, it was just crazy. It's a weird situation. So, but yeah, I did decide to go home. So I'm filling up with gas now.
He later suspected the rounds were small caliber, possibly .22, but the force of the impact was undeniable. The shock of being shot at while asleep inside his vehicle was unlike anything he had experienced before. James escaped without physical injury. However, the psychological impact of the attack was significant. The sense of vulnerability, knowing someone had deliberately fired at him in an isolated location, left a lasting mark. That night served as a stark reminder. Abandoned places may carry an eerie atmosphere, but the most unpredictable danger often comes from other people, especially when their intentions remain unknown. Just Go Pro is a YouTube channel built around first-person adventure footage that doesn't shy away from pushing things to the edge. One of their most talked about videos, raw, unfiltered, and genuinely intense, was uploaded on January 12th, 2015. It came closer to going wrong than anyone would have liked.
Okay, are you ready? Okay. Take your time.
Too scared.
Are you ready, honey? Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's do it. Walk behind me. Can you manage this piece?
Yeah, I think so.
The couple found themselves out on the Cribgach Knife Edge Ridge, and it didn't take long for the hesitation to show. The fear was real and visible. At a certain point, they admitted outright that they couldn't bring themselves to go any further.
Well done. Yeah, come on. Come on, let's sit here. You will feel more secure. Breathe. You can sit there.
No, don't worry.
You'll feel more secure.
No.
It's really flat. I know. I was scared as well. I was scared before. That's why I'm not looking around. Not even see what is, well, like, such a nice view on the left and the right. I'm just looking where to put my foot or hand.
Moving through the most exposed section of the route, it was clear the terrain was demanding every bit of focus they had. Each step required thought. One wrong placement, and there was no margin for error. Then a more experienced hiker nearby stepped in and offered some practical guidance on how to cross the ridge, advice that turned out to make a genuine difference to how they managed the rest of it.
As a guide, you might find that the easiest thing, you guys, rather than sticking to the ridge, if you stay down to one side and you literally go across like that.
Yeah.
So literally you're just doing that all the way across.
Okay.
Because when you're going forwards, you're aware of that side.
Okay.
So just keeping your feet and just literally crab your way along on this side, and it's just hand hold, foot hold. You'll be fine.
Okay.
You'll be absolutely fine.
Okay.
Thanks you for...
There's absolutely no crime in getting freaked by this thing.
No.
This is a beast of a ridge.
Yeah.
But you've done the bulk of it.
Oh, good. How much more is to do? I thought it was about half a mile.
It is. I mean, you've done quite a bit, by the way. Look at it. Look how far you've come.
Yeah.
You've done a lot. And this is the steep bit, and it flattens out. And what happens is that side opens up a little bit, so you can stick to the left a bit more.
Oh, right.
There's two tricky steps on the towers at the end where you've got to step across a little gap. It's not a difficult climb. It's just a little bit because you've got the slope to the right of you. But if you need to, we've got a rope in our back.
Oh, right.
If you
Okay.
need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, yeah. If you want to stay, if you want to, we'll happily stick with you if you want. If that'll help you, or if you want to just sit and get your head together. Go for it.
I just might be slow you lot
Don't
down.
worry, we're not fast. There's no rush on this.
Okay.
Take as long as you need, mate.
Okay. So yeah, I would appreciate that
Yeah,
if you don't mind.
join up. Do you want to go in front of us?
Prefer behind.
Go for it.
I think.
Okay, that's
Well, I'll stick. These are my doors, so I'll stick behind them.
Yeah.
This is Colin.
What they ran into that day was a stark reminder of what chasing the next thrill can actually look like when it catches up with you. No stranger, no wildlife, nothing unexplained, just gravity and the very real consequences of underestimating it. Sometimes the thing that frightens you most is the challenge you walked into yourself. The next video tonight comes from Two Ghost Girls, a UK-based paranormal investigation channel run by Ellie and Amy. Their work takes them through historic locations using EMF meters, spirit boxes, and the SDS method, always approached with a calm, measured attitude and a genuine focus on historical context over dramatic reactions. It is January 16th, 2026 at Okehampton Castle. Ellie, Amy, and their guests push further into the snow-covered keep as the temperature drops noticeably and cold spots begin to register. The atmosphere is described as heavy and isolating. EMF equipment is brought online. Previous reports of activity in the keep are discussed, and subtle sounds begin to move through the stonework. Then unexplained footprints appear in the snow, and the sense that the group has company starts to settle in.
It's chilly in here.
I can feel it.
We just said it's chilly in here, and she just said, I can feel it. That's all it is.
Stop.
Stop.
It's my bones. From dead to living. I'm at the gate.
Whoa. What gate? The gate to this room or the gate to the castle?
Or the gate to heaven or hell?
That's good.
No.
Wait.
Do you miss music?
La 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 la.
Whoa.
So you were singing. You miss your voice.
Dad, are you joking?
1991?
The responses coming through feel considered and contextual, not the kind of fragmented or random noise that gets easily dismissed. Distinct footstep sounds, a crunching and gravel-like quality to them, begin moving nearby. Nobody's position accounts for the sounds, and that tension inside the keep continues to build. A spirit talker device appears to track a face in an empty corner of the room, a corner where no one is standing.
There's weird ass footprints. Tiny baby footprints, like kids' footprints. There's kids' footprints down there. Look, and we've been here since it's been snowing. Like, it wasn't snowing. Like,
We had snow on the way here, right?
but like,
yeah.
how many people are going to have been walking around? Look at these baby footprints. They don't even look human. Oh my god, guys, they look barefoot.
I'm not shut.
They are barefoot. You can see toe prints and everything.
Oh, they do look like kind of footprints.
Like, what is that? That's like a baby ass footprint. Alright, I'm just gonna do a quick walk around and make sure there's no one around here.
Then clear messages begin coming through, direct instructions telling the investigators to leave. The instruction repeats, and the tone of the session shifts with it. What had been a careful, controlled investigation now carries a different weight.
Please, can you come through and say something to us?
Leave this place.
Are you joking? Did you hear that, Amy?
Yes, I did.
She's leaving!
A ritual challenge intended to invoke Lady Howard of Dartmoor is carried out. The atmosphere tightens immediately afterward an unnatural stillness that reinforces what the messages have already communicated. The group's presence is no longer welcome. As the investigation wraps up, the progression is hard to ignore. Cold spots, EMF spikes, what appeared to be intelligent communication, unexplained sounds, and physical traces left in the snow, and running through all of it, repeated instructions to leave. That kind of pattern points less toward residual activity and more toward something aware, something territorial. The group closes the investigation formally, stating aloud that nothing is permitted to follow them out. What the night leaves behind is a strong impression that something inside Okehampton Castle knew they were there and wanted them gone. The next video comes from Roaming with Raymond Motorhome Adventures, a UK-based solo van life channel documenting the unscripted reality of motorhome living around Britain. The content covers the everyday side of life on the road, weather, isolation, mechanical problems, and the kind of self-reliance that comes with traveling alone, presented without gloss or exaggeration. It is June 25th, 2024, in Brading, Isle of Wight, England.
We're back in Brodick because I've got to do that thing online tomorrow. Meeting Stephen to go to the botanical place, even though it's meant to be raining tomorrow and it is already getting misty. Gorgeous view that though, isn't it? So, don't know what to do now. It's a bit of a pain in the backside. I mean, I came back to Brodick because it was meant to be chucking down, and I thought at least I've got pavement to walk the dog on, and I've just used the last of my milk as well, so I need to go to the shop. But it ain't actually rained, and it's already Wednesday, and I'm leaving Tuesday. Do you know what I mean? And I've got places I want to go to, and it's bank holiday on Monday, which means I want to be as far away from this end of the island as I possibly can be. You know, I've got places I want to go back to that I really liked and to do nook, and I want to go to new places as well. Well, I'm just going to walk Wolfie for now, go and walk to the co-op and get myself some milk, and then reassess, I suppose. I mean, I could stay here till tomorrow because at least I can get editing done and get videos uploaded, see if it does piss down or not. It's probably all I can do, really. I mean, I'm meant to be meeting Stephen and going to the botanical place, but I haven't heard of him, and I don't even know what's going on because of the weather, because you have to sit outside on the beach a bit. Ain't very good if it's chucking down with rain. Well, we've been well and truly rained off now, so that's the end of today. It's supposed to be like this till about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I've got an issue again. My leak is back. This is where I've got to get Carl to do the welding. When I get back, I'm just going to have to shove a towel in there for now. But it'll stop me bloody carpet getting wet and rotting and getting mushrooms growing on it. Well, I thought, while I'm rained off, as Stephen calls it, Van Jail, at least I can get editing done, can't I, Wolfie? Which ain't very exciting for you, is it? Anyway, I thought I'd do an update on how I am on my own. So I've done now, I left on the Sunday, so I've done Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
She is stationed in Brading, traveling solo in the motorhome. Poor weather shuts down her plans to explore and meet up with a friend, keeping her mostly confined to the van. Mist and rain close in, and she weighs up whether to stay put or move on. When night comes, she takes the dog out late and notes how empty and still the streets have gone. She's generally fine on her own, but the darkness and the absence of anyone around creates a quiet unease that's hard to dismiss entirely.
It was a bit weird last night when I took the dog out, because I didn't take him till 11:30, and then because it's like the middle of the week, there was nobody around, and that felt a little bit creepy. I'm not a fan of the dark anyway, but at least there's street lights there. But yeah, otherwise I've been alright.
Walking the dog around 11:30 at night, the streets are almost completely deserted. Limited lighting, total silence, and nothing moving anywhere. It makes the whole thing feel off in a way that's difficult to shake.
I had a leak last night coming in. Somewhere here I kept getting a big massive puddle down there in that ridge. And it's been that bad, that and that, are absolutely sopping wet. Gotta try and get them dry. I don't know how. I'm just going to shove them in the basket. I ended up having to move last night. I mean, not very far, but because where I was open to the elements, and it was 45-mile-an-hour winds all night, and it was blowing on that side of the van, and I think that was just making it, forcing the rain in to wherever the tiny gap is and leaking. So that was about 12:30 last night. I ended up moving because I just thought I'm going to run out of tea towels to try and dry it up.
Overnight, heavy rain finds its way into the van through a gap she can't locate. Puddles begin forming inside, soaking sections of the interior. She works through towel after towel, trying to keep up with it, but the water keeps coming, and the situation doesn't improve.
So I've got a towel shoved down there for the leak what started yesterday. I've got a towel shoved down there. I'm trying to keep me and the dog dry.
Then the wind picks up, estimated around 45 miles per hour, hammering the side of the van. It appears to be driving the rain in harder, making the leak worse and leaving the motorhome taking a sustained battering with nowhere to hide from it.
I went to put my seatbelt on and the whole stem just came off in my hand because for some reason the bolt, well, it's not the bolt, it's the nut, had completely come off and I hadn't realised. So as I went to put the seatbelt on, the stalk bit with the clip thing on the end.
With the towels nearly exhausted and water still getting in, she makes the call to move the van in the middle of the night to find some shelter. It's not a choice made for comfort. It's made because she doesn't have another option. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the other stories on screen for more disturbing encounters caught on camera. Stay safe out there, and remember, the next time you step off the trail, you might not be as alone as you think.